Welcome out there on LinkedIn.
Hello.
It's always interesting with the first few seconds because you never know how many has been sitting, idling, and waiting for us to go live.
We'll take it slow so you can chill. Don't throw your coffee all over the table.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you could even go and get a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, maybe you have 2 or 3 storages. Maybe you have to wait in line, get a helicopter to get the coffee. Then I think that maybe you should sit tight because we are going to kick off very soon.
Cool.
Yeah. I almost want to say welcome.
Yeah, but I think we're probably the ones who should say welcome, since you're actually in our studio, our live shopping mecca, or the church, the church of live shopping here.
This is the Church of Electronics.
Yeah, at the Power headquarters. We are in Glostrup, outside of Copenhagen. Yeah.
It's a very nice. We got the opportunity together with you, Joakim. We're very excited about this, and I hope everyone out there also can appreciate this very professional studio. I was told that our former Prime Minister Lars Løkke has been sitting in this chair.
Maybe that chair.
Maybe that chair. I can just feel if this is a chair he's been sitting on. That's pretty amazing. But let's kick off and get to the agenda.
Sure. Before we kick off, we have to get something straight here. Like, you're in our studio today, and you need to give something back to the people who are viewing here today. So can we do? And we have our wheel here, the power wheel. Could we say that whoever spins the correct slot here wins a campaign at Scratcher, that you guys fix for them? I think that could make sense.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, you have a wheel. We have a webinar. We have 170 potential viewers.
Yeah, I think, guys, you should win this free campaign. I think that would be good. So maybe you can throw out your phone number.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. So if you guys who are viewing, you want to win a campaign that we at Scratcher set up for you, send me a text message, and during the show, I will read one of the texts. You don't have to write anything, maybe just your name and what company you're from, and then I will spin. And how does it work? Which should win?
Well, if you want to do it in our real live shopping style, it's when you land on the orange pieces. Then you're a winner. Okay. And even though you have a kitchen machine on here, that will not be what you will be winning. It will be a Scratcher campaign. But if you need a kitchen machine, then you know where to go. Yeah. Hint: it's power.
Yeah, definitely power. Okay, good stuff. Okay,
yeah.
Giving away, I like that. Let's repeat it later in. So if someone drops in, they still have a chance to send a text message. I'll be watching here. And I think out in the room, they will just be writing my phone number. It's +45 2086 34 92. And they will read it out and write it out. So send me a text message. First, we'll get the first spin.
Yeah.
And no winner on the first one, we go to the second one.
Yeah.
So let's stay tuned. Cool. Okay, thanks for giving away, Joakim. What a great start.
That was very easy.
Yeah.
we love doing giveaways here, especially if it's on somebody else's part.
That's amazing. But you have done a lot of live shopping campaigns, so that's one of the things that we will talk to a bit later.
Yeah.
But let's give an introduction, first of all, so you guys know who is this man and why am I sitting in his studio.
Yeah. So my name is Joakim. I have the responsibility for e-commerce at Power, and we do a lot of CRM, lead generation, gamification activities on our e-commerce platforms. We have an organization where we're working very closely together across the organization. So when I say e-commerce, it's more like the whole omnichannel concept that we're doing together. So I'm sitting together with our marketing department, and we tie the ends together on all the activities that we're doing. Yeah.
And Power, for those who might not know, it's difficult to understand if someone doesn't know who you are, but maybe we're doing this in English. There could be an audience outside of Denmark or the Nordics.
Yes.
So can you tell a bit about the size of Power and your organization?
Yeah, so we are a electronics and domestic appliance retailer that started up some 7 years ago, 8 years ago actually. And we have been expanding our store network here in Denmark, and we have been a omnichannel concept from day one. So actually the web shop launched before the first store. So having a very good connection between the digital part and the physical part has always been a part of our concept, and really what we've been growing from. Which is why we have this close collaboration. So everything related to domestic appliances and electronics is something you can get at Power, either in our physical stores or online.
Excellent. Yeah. I think that was a really good introduction. Short introduction about myself. I am Nikolaj. I'm the CCO at Scratcher, and I'm interviewing Joakim today. Maybe you've seen me having and hosting several other webinars, but today I'll try not to do the talking because we're here and asking Joakim some question. So I'll try to stop myself if I talk too much.
All right.
Of course, coming from Scratcher, you being one of our clients for a long time now.
Yeah.
We are touching upon gamification in general.
Yes.
I think it could be interesting to learn a little bit about when you became familiar with gamification in the first time.
Yeah.
And what your thoughts were back then.
So initially, when we reached out and started dialogue, I think you could say, very green in the whole CRM e-commerce field. And I wasn't really getting enough value out of our sign-up forms generally. We felt like we weren't growing our CRM databases quickly enough, and I could understand why. I thought, like, who signs up for these like forms?
Yeah.
Tried different things, like writing that you can win something if you sign up or something. But then we...
So one of the traditional pop-ups.
Yeah. Get a discount, get a chance to win a gift card, for example. But it still felt very old school compared to how we were hoping to be a little different online and get, like, what we call internally the power feeling in all our channels, and like a form which you usually associate with like work was not very exciting to us. So we became familiar that it was possible to make like these games where it could be more interesting, where there was like some kind of attention grabbing mechanism to pull people in, and also to give something back. At least what I became very aware of right away was how different the experience was of participating in a online competition and knowing right away if you won. Because I think we all have this feeling when we sign up for something which say you can win something, we pick a winner in a month. And like, you never hear anything. Did a winner get picked? Yeah. Like, is this
so
even
was it
real?
A real competition actually?
Was it a real competition? Yeah. At least from my point of view, it felt much more real. That, like, this is also the call to action. We've been running a lot of gamification campaigns. Yeah. Participate here, see if you won right away. That has been like the tagline. I think that builds a lot of trust.
Yeah. I think that's a really interesting takeaway from you, because a lot of people I usually talk to, they have these standard formulas. Very easy to make that standard formula where it's like, we will pick a winner. Yeah. And the feeling from a lot of the participants that I've also talked to, or in general, it is that, was there ever a winner? Yeah. If you see influencers on YouTube or Instagram, there's a lot of comments always, you never picked a winner, and so on. Exactly. So I think you're touching head on to actually be able to give that instant reward and knowledge. No, did I win or didn't I win? I think, that's true. At least from our part, it was also just a notion of, we want to try what's new. Like a form doesn't feel new. If I can have an interactive game on my side, it feels more digital first, I guess. And you've been working together with Scratcher now for 3 years or so. Yeah. I think we're just touching the 3-year jubilee. Yeah, at least where we have like ongoing campaigns all the time. Yeah. And what was the reason why you landed on? Of course, there are many providers of gamification solutions out there. Yeah. But what was the main reasons why you ended up choosing Scratcher? We've been looking at a few different solutions, as we always do. We want to find what's the best fit for us generally. What we were surprised about in some of the other solutions were how the presentation and the marketing part, like before the customer has given their information or decided to participate, how in a lot of cases wasn't very interesting compared to the examples we got from you guys. A specific example here is in competing platforms back then, might still be the case, don't know.
the game with animations, with the prizes, was not shown before you had like given your information. So that felt very backward, because like you want to show the game, the spinning wheel, the scratch card. You want to show that as a thing that can pull people in, not the other way around.
Because a form is just a form, but you wanted to have something a bit more engaging.
Yes, and also our approach has always been that we need to embed these games on our own site with our own cookie consents, our own traffic, whatever tracking validation and so forth, and also with our header and general communication to ensure trust. Unfortunately, there are always people who try to misuse brand names, and just sending a nondescript landing page which doesn't look like a regular website, where you're asking for people's information. We don't want people to think that somebody might be misusing Power's information here. And it felt super weird embedding a game into a landing page, which we're talking about an event or something activity we were doing, and it was just a form. But now when we're doing it, there will be like animated interactive thing with like I think even some of our games have fireworks going on in the background.
Yeah, I've seen some of those.
And you can see on the page something is happening here, and then when you click the game, you want to participate, and when you just get a modal. So it's like, in my perspective, and the campaigns we've tried, is the right way around compared to what we've seen elsewhere. It's of course a small detail, but again, it was an important factor when we're trying to design the journey. If our goal is to create a more interactive new experience on our digital platforms, we don't want to just show a form on the page, which we're hoping to make interesting.
Yeah. No, I think you're touching on some really good points, and especially about minimizing the friction for the sign-up flow and the interest flow, and I think we'll touch a little bit upon that later. Just before going on, if anyone came in a bit late here, I'm sitting here with Joakim, who's the e-commerce manager for Power, and he just promised that we will give one of you viewers out there a campaign. So either send me a text message if you want to win a campaign for your company. It could be an Easter campaign, or it could be something else. Let's talk about that if you win. Or you can also drop a comment, and then one of my colleagues out there will let us know who is commenting and who we should spin the wheel for.
All right.
Let's do it that way as well. So one of the things that we brought here on the slide is also one of the e-commerce prizes. I know you're nominated in 2 different categories right now.
Yeah.
And one of them is Best Omnichannel Strategy.
Yeah.
Just to throw Omnichannel as a 2023 buzzword in, you can just briefly just touch on what Omnichannel is for you, but also why do you think that you're nominated in this case, and why do you think you have a good case?
Yeah, it is. It's a hot potato. What the hell is Omnichannel?
Yeah.
And we see companies having Omnichannel departments or managers, but really we are trying to look at it as an approach to our activities. So if we hear if our colleagues in traditional marketing is doing an activity, then our goal is to always have it as close on the digital platforms as physical and in stores. And we found some pretty fun ways to really try to tie it together. But generally, it's just in every single thing you do, how do you take what's digital to be physical? How do you take what's physical to be digital? Mirror the user experience, the expectation. So well, again, friction, but you're spending so much energy and money on marketing in one channel, make sure that there is some recognition in the other channels. And that's also one of the reasons why we have a spinning wheel right here, if the camera can find it, to our right here, where we have gotten a physical wheel that looks like our online scratcher ones. Yeah. Because we want to make sure that we could easily execute campaigns, real life or live shopping, which we're doing online. Yeah. Because even though how much we want to have every single of our customers spin the physical one, we would need some help, and that's why we mirror it to the digital one. Yeah.
So a little bit about, if I understand correctly, like as a company, you've invested in some very good positions in the landscape out there where the stores are physically, the retail shops are.
I would say so.
And then of course there's a lot of traffic coming. But of course also then picking up some of the data from people who are just being in the normal stores and converting that to the digital journey.
Yeah, that is always a big challenge, and that's definitely a place where we can become even better. Power has been in a position for the last several years where we need to grow and take market share in the Danish market. So our focus has been on reaching new segments and specifically new local areas in Denmark, which is why we've taken our wheel out, done in-person events in areas where we maybe didn't have a store yet. We even had a mobile store at some point, a big truck that we drove all over Denmark to festivals to try to kind of bring it together, because it takes a while to build out a store network, and we've had to specifically look at what can strategies be to like take a leap in the areas where it will take a while before we have a physical store.
Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. Just coming a bit back of the approach of course gamification. I also want to know a little bit about what your if there is any approach that is different from when you started out. You said you were a bit green to now that you have been doing. I counted in our backend that you've been doing probably around 70 to 90 different campaigns or activations in the last 3 years. Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously we think it's very impressive. Many of the campaigns is using the same format.
Yeah.
But what do you think is in your mindset right now when you think about using or applying gamification to? What's the difference from when you started out?
I think the main thing is that we're seeing that we can utilize it in more areas where we thought right away. So initially when we're trying out, there was a focus on the largest campaigns, the biggest activities. We needed to have a large pool of prizes. Where we're seeing now, we can get very good results, making it more local and just up the frequency really. And when we're getting better and better at making campaigns, we do them all in-house, like self-service. We can do them down to like an hour or so, depending on how much we need to change. We're seeing that if we match the context of whatever the marketing track is, for example, now we'll be opening some new stores where we'll be doing local gamification campaigns, which has like the store name in them and the city sign, trying to bring the game into the context where we have the customer.
So I think what you're saying there is that, or what I'm hearing, correct me if I'm wrong, Joakim, but you're basically saying you had one mindset when you started, but now you're actually starting to identify different opportunity or actually recognizing opportunities where you really want to activate gamification, store openings being one of them.
Definitely just all being more relaxed about how we can use it, when we can use it, and being more creative, and instead of waiting until you have like a big campaign, you see what can we do as an always on track, or is there any local activities that we should pick up in relation to this? Where, for example, our live shopping setup that has been like super short. That will be like something we'll be running online for 2-3 days, and that's it. So we of course reuse the format, the graphics, the setup that we have made to look like our physical Wheel of Fortune. But the campaign itself is tied to the specific context of the marketing track. At least we find that to be way more honest to our customers and relatable to how they're actually interacting with us.
Let's see one of the campaigns that you made.
I
think we have a small video.
Which one is it?
Of one of the campaigns here. So if our production team will get it's
all right, our Christmas campaign.
The Christmas campaign. So just run me through while the video is running. What is the purpose of this? What do you want to achieve with this?
First up, the guys, and yeah, there we go. Like the packages here. So what the screen you see here without the form is what we would embed into our site. So we would have like animated packages with our own branding that you could click and then see if you want something, see right away if you want it. But the whole point of this campaign was to have some nice prizes, which was usually bought as Christmas presents. To pull in the customer and create interest, and then have a lot of smaller prizes which had to be picked up in our store in case you wanted like a small present for your Christmas calendar.
Yeah.
So we had several hundred like small prizes which you would get a voucher code that you could pick up in your local store. The point was to get customers to come down, see their local store, and maybe there was some presents that make sense to buy when they were in our store.
So I was just about to ask you actually, because I think a lot of people watching who hasn't been running gamification campaigns for 3 years, they're also looking at the prices that you're giving away and being like, wow, that is expensive to give away these prices, or maybe their budgets is thinking that it's. How do you, so for this campaign especially, when you have giveaway, I know it's products, it's a different price than the value of it.
Yeah.
But how do you justify internally the prices and the giveaways? You mentioned a bit about you pulling traffic in by doing small giveaways.
Yeah. There is the whole point of trying to again bridge the gap. Is an online game, but you get of course in-store present that you can pick up. The other aspect is just that we can see customers really like to interact with it. High conversion rate. Customers mention the activity on our social channels, and we can see them coming back again and again. So with this specific game, we had it set up so the vast majority of participants, they got a cookie when they didn't win something. And every time you got a cookie, you got an extra ticket for the main prize, which was like, I think, pretty high, 20,000 worth of products and so forth. So the point was to come back every day, try your luck, and see if you're one of the lucky winners. If you weren't one of the lucky winners, you got a ticket, and then on the 24th of December, we made a social media post about the person who won using the ticket. So you had like more chances to win. Basically, we know our customers want to participate in this. This is why we make the activity for them. You can. And of course, we also get new consents, leads that we can communicate to. But you can spend your whole life like evaluating these specific leads and how they fit into your customer profile. We are in a position where we still need to get customers to try Power for the first time. Yeah. So all the interaction from new people that we can get is something we're willing to do basically.
Okay. So you can't really, for that Christmas campaign, as an example, you can't say that you have invested X amount of money in paid and in the gifts and everything, and this is the amount of money they bought for over time. It's more complicated than that.
Well, we have those figures,
okay.
But I'm sorry, but I cannot shout them out here.
Yeah.
But even though, like,
but I guess it's a positive case. Else you wouldn't be doing these activities?
No,
I would assume that.
Yeah, I would say so as well. We get a lot of customers in store coming down, and we generally see that they pick up other products when they come to pick up their small calendar present. Yeah. So that is the thought in all of them. I think the campaign we're running with the most direct correlation to like value for gamification is when we do a store opening or a local campaign. Yeah. Because here we can see directly out of the customers who participated is in this local oriented gamification campaign how many attended the event in store. And we can see that it's a very, very large amount. Even when we're just giving out smaller gift cards, let's say 200 crowns for the event. I stand by the store and the winners come up and get the gift cards from me. Yeah. And here at 10 store openings later, we haven't had a single one which wasn't picked up by the customers. Even though it was down to 200, they show up at the day of the event and like use it.
And maybe they even spend some more because now I'm here anyway.
I would expect so. Looking at our average spend for a customer in store, it's more than 200.
Yeah.
I can divulge that.
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying, just to summarize for the viewers out there, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But you're using gamification event not just to catch people's interest and make them aware of something is happening. It could be a store opening or it could be an event to basically drive the attention to your brand rather than competitors' brands. And then you're also creating footfall into the local stores, either whether it's an opening or existing stores.
Yeah.
And you're giving small, insignificant prices away that basically drives traffic, and the customers end up, the people who get something for free, they actually end up spending more money with you than what you gave them.
Yes, that is definitely the approach. And we
thanks for sharing. I think it's very interesting to hear these.
And at first we were afraid of how do we handle like people getting these unique vouchers going into the store, but way back your technical team, they fixed it pretty quickly. I'm not sure if they had the feature ready or what, but at least they got it fixed right away. That each person who won like one of these small prizes, they got a unique code, and because it's a unique code, we were able to track it. So everything related to customer communication about this is your gift card given in store, we didn't have to handle that. That was just, it was possible for you guys to do. And I think at least we still don't have a system to handle like these personal gifts that should be sent out that can only be used once. So that was positive. I really like the aspect of the communication being handled by the platform, and we don't have to manually send an email to somebody like this is your price and ship off the price. We can just send a code that gives X product for free with instructions.
Very nice.
And that makes it a little more flexible, also very easy to track.
Yeah.
Basically.
Super good, Joakim. Thanks for selling my product for me. No, it's a very nice. It's our pricing feature that Joakim is talking about, how to redeem vouchers. And there's obviously a lot of different ways depending on if you are an e-commerce retail company or if you're B2B or a completely different. There are many different options to redeem prices and solve that. Yeah. But I'm very happy to hear that you had good support and
and that's one of the
communication with us.
Yeah, one of the reasons why we're here today, because no platform has every feature, but the times where there has been something evident missing, we were able to talk together and figure it out, and that's what we basically value in a partnership, because electronics and domestic appliances can sometimes be a little weird business. Because it's something that there's a lot of competition on, and we had almost all consumers needs it at some point. So it can be a little, it can have some very specific aspects sometimes. And just being able to talk about it and get like some kind of, I wouldn't even say customization, but at least figuring out how do we fix this specific case. Yeah.
But it's really interesting for us as a software company to understand. And this is why this interview is also really interesting for me sitting here, because I get a lot of insights that we don't usually get. So also, if you're sitting out there behind the camera and you have some questions or there's something you are particularly interested in, please just write it in the comment field. And remember, Spin to Win is still going on. There's nobody who wants a campaign yet. TikTok, let's see what happens. And of course, if you see this on demand, I probably already picked the winner, but let's see about that. One of the things that I know a lot of companies that I talk to is very curious about is how is traffic being driven to different campaigns. Yeah. So when you have a store opening and a landing page, traffic just doesn't appear. So I think we have a slide of an example of an ad, but maybe while we're just showcasing that, can you share a bit about your thoughts on how you drive traffic to these landing pages?
Yeah, but of course you have to do marketing either through your owned or earned channels or through the paid ones. And we've had great experience putting the game front and center. The prices, of course, it depends on your brand if you can do this. What your aspect is. If your approach is more, let's say, a lifestyle brand with personalization or like quality. interaction based. You could make something like this ad could be a guide, get personal recommendations based on X, Y.
So is this an example? Is this a display ad, or is where did this run? Or is it Facebook ad or
Facebook, TikTok, Instagram?
Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram.
Yeah.
So basically, you create some ads which are specific for the game type.
Yeah.
And then you target. Do you retarget the people that you already know, or is it a wide audience, or how's your if you can reveal a little bit, not too detail about your targeting.
Usually the giveaway-oriented ones are the widest one. That's like prospecting runs where we don't have, like we haven't, not active customers, haven't interacted too much with us, right? We need to persuade you to interact with us. So here's a chance to win some prizes. For known customers or in-market customers, we can show, for this specific event is what was related to one of our live shopping events, we would have a separate track running for these customers, which is more related on the offers and the value you get for viewing the live shopping show. So we use it a lot for prospecting customers to try us out, interact with us. Maybe customers who haven't been on our digital sites for a long time or maybe never, get them to see what kind of products do we offer.
So you don't have the cookie for them active, for instance?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Okay. And what's your thought about, for instance, I would assume you have a lot of newsletters and email subscribers, and if you open a new store in a new area, you would know the postal code, and would you then send the store opening out in the email with a game attached to it in the newsletters as well?
Yes, so there is generally different tactics. Of course, there is gamification made for gathering new leads. Mm-hmm. There are ones made for activating current ones, and then there is also related to that the enrichment related ones. So where we want to increase the data we have on people to do more personalized communication. And depending on what the context is and what your strategy is, you need to make sure what makes sense. So, for example, if we to our local people in an area will be opening store, we'll be sending out, the focus is not, of course, on sign up to our newsletter because they're already getting it, or they're maybe a known customer, maybe they are in some of our retargeting groups. It will be, we're hosting an event at that day. All right, what can we do in a gamification game to get people to attend a physical event? Well, the idea we came up with was that the main prize was being the first in line at the event and getting a gift card for, I think it was 2,000 kroner or something. Yeah. So now you're making sure that people have a specific interest in the event and they have some reason to keep the date free in their calendar, because this is one of the few cases where we've done a draw prize at a later time. Yeah. Because we want to do some videos together with the people who win the first in line prize and do some fun stuff together. Yeah. So we will do like when they show up at the store, every single winner have shown up in the store for one of these events. So that's pretty good. We'll do like a personalized shopping thing where the store manager will greet the customer and we'll do a video about what they need.
Cool. So you actually repurpose the entire journey to also use some content that you can use for.
Yeah, again, just trying to tie it together. So again, if you look about the customer journey, our newsletter customers received this piece of communication about the game, where they could win the first spot in line. Then later on TikTok, Instagram, they see this video of the guy who won the first spot in line. Like it ties the journey together, and they understand the context of what they're seeing. So the context of the people who have seen the game they have a much clearer understanding of what they're seeing on TikTok, depending on, because it's designed to be the same journey as much as possible.
So it's really important, and that's something we also see in general, that the brand identity of what you're showing in your ads, if it's newsletters or what channel you're communicating, that is recognizable for the brand. That's basically also what you're saying. So what they meet is the same what they see and participate in.
One thing is like the brand assets, the logos, the colors, but also the campaign message and what's behind it. Like what is the customer context of it, as we like to call it. All right, it's a store opening where they can get offers. If they're not interested in offers, they can get gift cards. Yeah. which also leads to offers. But
Yeah, yeah, it's just a different tactic.
yes.
I just saw a text message tagged in here, and let's see if it's from the Vuggestue or not. But it isn't. But we have someone here. There's no name, so I will find out later.
Yeah.
But there is someone writing to me.
Cool.
So I will spin the wheel.
Yeah.
And this number, I can't read it out. I was about to read it out, but that's a no-go. But let's spin the wheel.
Yeah. I think you should try. You haven't tried it before.
No, I haven't tried it before.
So you're a strong guy, so don't put in too much muscle because then it will spin forever. But you can give it a tug.
How was that? Was that too soft?
That's
Let's see here. Oh,
right.
orange. Orange wins. So
Orange
orange
wins.
is the winner, and white is no go.
Oi.
And
Oi.
we have
Oi.
a winner.
That's a winner.
So congratulations. It is Jessica Palmer who won. I can just see that from my admin studio here. So Jessica, congrats with the campaign. We'll contact you after the show, and we'll set something up. Thanks for setting that up, Joakim.
Yeah, sure.
And,
No problem.
I want a wheel. I want a wheel like that for future webinars.
You should just have it as
Yeah, exactly.
a Monday morning
I'm
thing.
gonna bag it. Okay, just continuing because there was a lot of things you said just now.
Yeah, all right.
I would love to touch on. Of course, time is running. I could ask you probably close to 1,000 questions. But you mentioned something that I think ties into results, output, and KPIs. Because often a lot of people want to measure, attribute, and justify, especially in these times, what's the return of investment of both investing in something like Scratch's software, but also the ads leading to that. So when you design a campaign, do you sort of map out a goal and say, I want to achieve this before you engage with it? Or do you do it in the other way around and you start and create something and then you sort of like see what it leads to?
The way we do it, and the only responsible way really, is when we make a campaign, we define what the KPIs are for the campaign, and also the budget. Like that's one of the same thing has to be together. Yeah. But it's not very often that we do a gamification Scratcher campaign not related to a general activity we're doing. So let's say we're doing a store opening, KPIs would be how many people show up for the store opening, what we sell on the first day, weekend, how many leads we get. We call it My Power members for people who become members. So that's a specific part of the campaign. So when we're opening store, we know how many people live in that area, and we want to get a certain
like the coverage.
A certain penetration of My Power customers in the area. Yeah. To make sure that we remain top of mind also after the event has finished. And that's what we do it out from. And then we, of course, also while we're running the campaign, see how is our metrics going really? Are we going to make it with the budget? Do we need to shuffle some money around and take it from other activities? So I
think we actually have a video that you shared from your analytics showing some live numbers.
Yeah, so that's.
So what is it? Is that something that you're sitting and monitoring in your Google Analytics? Some of these things, or where are you looking at?
So this specific video clip is from one of the previous Black Fridays, right before we released our offers. So what we have done was we've taken down our whole website and then just made a countdown, and then it says offers will be released in X minutes, and then it says while you're waiting, we had a Scratcher game beneath. Yeah. So there was only one thing on our website. It was countdown to the offers, the Scratcher game beneath, and we are trending at these 62,000 live visitors.
Live visitors.
Yeah, and I remember chatting with Henrik, your founder, and asking him how your systems, what will they say about all these concurrent users? And he was super arrogant, and he said no, it won't be a problem at all. Won't be a problem at all. And I gotta say they kept up. So that was probably the highest velocity gamification game we've ever ran. Yeah. So about 22% of the 62,000 people who was on the wait page completed the game, participated.
Amazing.
So there was about 20,000 leads that participated in those 20 minutes. Yeah. So that was
20 minutes basically.
Yes.
Yeah. It was live.
And, and this also needs to be tied in the marketing campaign. For the whole point was we had booked TV commercials which says we're going to do an early start of Black Friday. We hadn't released any offers yet, really. So when people came in, they only had this wait page. They saw the TV commercials. There was hype and also some mystique, I guess.
Yeah.
And we were thinking a lot about, we're getting all this traffic of people who are waiting. We need, like, how do we extract some value from them? And it seemed like a good customer experience to provide a game instead of just a sign-up form.
Yeah.
I remember that specific game, you also changed it so that you had, I think it was quite a few that you had like 4 or 5 scratch cards that you could do. Something which takes 2-3 minutes. Yeah. So a little while goes by that you can spend.
You had something to wait while you were waiting,
yes.
and a bit playful and still get some offers and everything.
Yeah, that's the hopeful part. And I don't know if we have a video on it, but I remember that the whole landing page was just like animated fireworks behind the scratch card, and that was great on the. I think I sent you guys a screenshot of it. I don't know. If
I don't think it made it into the show here, but it sounds
Yeah.
like we should have added it now.
Not important. No. So cool. Yeah, it's been fun exploring where gamification can fit in. Yeah. Outside of just ordinary lead campaigns.
And talking about gamification, where it can fit in, we touched upon store openings, Black Friday. Yeah. You of course also have done some live shopping events that is pretty cool. And maybe we should just show the short clip here that we have of the live shopping, of one of your live shopping events with the wheel that I got to spin.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about I don't know if is the sound running?
Oh, I'm hoping that they can hear us.
Yeah. Så kan du faktisk også blive den heldige vinder.
So this is
Vi står klar til at sende et brag af en gang Power Live TV i aften, hvor vi skal køre live shopping for alle pengene. Der er sindssygt fede produkter til sindssygt fede priser. Og på toppen af det, jamen, så kan du faktisk også blive den heldige vinder. Hvis det er, at du går ind og tilmelder dig eventet, så kan det være dig, der får lov at køre en tur på vores spritnye lykkehjul herovre her. Der er nogle sindssygt fede præmier på, blandt andet en fantastisk PlayStation 5. Måden du deltager på, det er at hoppe ind på Facebook, tilmelde dig eventet, eller så gå ind på power.dk/live.
Okay, so we just saw the video. There was a bit of different in the sound.
Yeah. Great. So this video here was an ad for a live shopping show where we also had our physical Wheel of Fortune and tried to connect it into the one which we're running online. So basically we're running live shopping on social media where it's of course a little limited what you can do. We can't have interactive clickable games because it's just a video stream. So the setup we made was that every person who commented that they want to participate, we pick out a few names and we spin for them on air. And everybody else, they get a link to the online version where they can win the same prizes. They're presented with the same wheel, again to bridge the gap between digital and physical.
So you have this one in a scratcher version.
Yes.
So the ones who doesn't get picked out live, they still get a chance to play.
To play. Yeah. Exactly.
You don't pay. You play.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. And this is always a lot of fun. We always get a lot of participants. Yeah. And we're always looking to how we can connect what's happening on social media, the digital part, more with the physical part. Our live shopping concept started up during COVID. Yeah. So generally we're doing a lot of exercises on how do we bridge the gap in everything really. Yeah. And again, trying to match the context. They are watching a live stream where they see a Wheel of Fortune with these prizes, all right? And then they get a personalized link where they see the same Wheel of Fortune with the same prizes. Again, to see, even though you can't be here physically, you still have the same possibilities and so forth. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of brands in general that wants to do live shopping or maybe have tried it as well. Mm. But one of the issues a lot of e-commercers I've talked to has regarding live shopping is that if they run live shopping, let's say on Instagram Live or Facebook Live, there's a lot of names and participants, and they might do a lot of sales. but they might not actually pick any leads up to work on or any data.
No.
So I guess that is one way you can handle that with having the online gamification part as well, is to also lead generate for future newsletters and so on.
And then make sure whatever they're seeing in the live stream is also what they see on the website as close as possible, because you've just put the viewer, the consumer, in a specific context. If you build upon that, then you will see greater results than throwing them completely off the hook with something else. But it is a like ongoing challenge building up your owned media and earned media through social media. Definitely.
There's just one question coming in, and I think it's a misunderstanding, so I just want to correct that. It says, was it 20 minutes our website was down when you got 20,000 leads? And I think that neither Power's nor Scratcher's website were down.
The front page, we redirected all pages to the front page, and then the only thing we had on our front page was a countdown, and it says when we will reveal the offers, and then a header saying while you wait. Then there was a Scratcher game below, and we were so lucky that our site did not go down that Black Friday. It has, of course, but it does happen, of course.
I have one last question because time is flying, now we're in a period where I think a lot of businesses are struggling. We have inflation rising and spend somewhere in the Danish consumption, among other places, is of course decreasing. So what is your take as an e-commerce manager in times that are hard for doing business? Is it to save and be careful, or be bold and invest, or what's your approach to this?
Power's strategy is definitely to invest. As you just seen yesterday, we're expanding massively in Sweden by acquiring a network of stores there. That is always our approach. But if you are a retailer or e-commerce retailer, I would go back to your main strategy and look at the products you're selling. What is the buying patterns of the products you're selling? If you don't have high organic pull on your products, high organic sales, you should maybe consider if you need to pivot or limit costs. We are in a space where we have, like, customer has a need for our products, will need it for everyday life. So we want to make sure that we remain top of mind in a market that will just become more competitive because there's a less volume of sales. So that will be like even more marketing and activities to make sure we remain top of mind. That will be our approach.
Yeah, cool. I think there's one last question was also, what do you think of the lead quality coming from gamified campaign versus, for instance, lead ads and other lead methods? Do you have an opinion on that experience?
As I mentioned before, pretty much all adult Danish consumers needs our products. So we're spending a little less energy on specifically what the demographics are and the leads coming in, and more how fast we can gather them and what the cost per acquisition is. And there it has been extremely evident that these games, compared to, let's say, Facebook Meta's lead ad, has way cheaper acquisition cost for us. There is, of course, also a question of being for many people, a known brand that you maybe have heard about but haven't interacted with. That becomes easier.
So the trust part.
Yes, but all the times we've tried, I call them native lead ads. All the times we've tried them, we've stopped it pretty quickly because it hasn't been at the correct acquisition cost compared to what we're able to do ourselves in making interesting campaigns, making live shopping activities.
So actually applying gamifications to your lead acquisitions makes the CAC cheaper overall.
For us it does, and combined with us wanting to make events where people get some fun out of it, live shopping events, in-person events, it makes sense. If we, of course it's less work throwing money after a native lead ad on the social media platforms, but we want to make marketing activities where people participate in less community based, more community based, and less push based. And we find that has been working great, and it's a lot of fun. It's we're having so much fun with our customers when we're doing live shows, when we're doing in-store events. It's
amazing, Joakim.
I can recommend it.
Thanks so much. I think we already spent too much time. As I mentioned, I could have a million more questions.
Yeah.
Maybe if there are more questions out there and you can send them to me in the chat, or they're in the chat, I can try to answer them, but also perhaps I can redirect some of the questions to you, if you have time, of course, and you want to.
If you want to get even more dirty details on our gamification activities, you can write me at joachim@power.dk.
Very nice, Joakim. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much for letting us borrow your studio, being in the chair, perhaps 50% chance of Lars Løkke.
Great you finally saw the studio.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, you have all the hardware, right?
Yeah. Better just use it.
Yeah.
Even though it's LinkedIn, I think LinkedIn is first for me as well when it comes to live.
Yeah. But really appreciate it, Joakim. Congrats to Jessica for campaign. If you want to get a trial for Scratcher and try to make some campaigns like Joakim does here, go to scratcher.io, click in the right corner. There's a link to create a free trial, and you can test it out 14 days for free. You'll probably get a call from me or one of my colleagues to hear just what your thoughts are, but we're here to help. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned.
Cool. Bye-bye.
Bye there.